In spirituality, the first thing we learn is to get out of what's in the Orient been called the monkey mind, the cerebral cortex that identifies the world as it seems to be. As soon as we let that go in prayer, meditation, contemplation, reflection, whatever, the world disappears. All spiritual people that ever lived know this. There's a soft, diffuse light that penetrates everything and is everything. And you no longer identify with the physicality, the materiality of the world. You feel this presence, you look through everything forever. There are different forms of meditation, prayer, spiritual empowerment, and they all say the same thing. You are this beauteous presence, this kind light, this decency. Let this go. We even let go of emotion. Can you imagine that? Of all sense of being a person. As soon as the physicality is gone, then we see right through everything, and it's not being psychic, like being psychic to other people and looking through their windows. It's, don't ever do that. In an emergency, you'll do that, but you're looking through everything that seems to be, the entire material structure. As soon as you let go of this and know and understand this sense of spirituality, of purity that you experience, it's a softly lit room, ecstatically, beauteously present always. There are many words for it. And it's conscious because it is the presence of the body of the Lord God of heaven, whom we worship. And surprise, surprise, we'll find God loving, worshiping us in a way like a mom would love or dad would love their newborn. Understand, as soon as you have a child, you know exactly why you're born and what you're going to do, and nothing else matters. You're God's own. And when you're spiritual, God is your own. You're here to protect God. Imagine such a high thought. That's why you're here. To protect the kind light from the affront on his decency of this world, indecency of this world. Do you understand? The material world, cerebral cortex, however you want to identify it, there's nothing solid. And when you're in love, when you're endowed with a great artistic, spiritual presence, the world is never solid or real to you. You just want to recreate God in your sensory equipment and translate it in a way that will carry others to this lofty plane of wonder that we call God. There is a God. You are God's presence in this incidental place. What I say incidental, and as a spiritual presence, you're aware always of the infinity, of this openness, of eternity, of this glory and wonder that God is, that heaven is. You'll see it all day, every day, this golden light. And it changes every moment. See what I'm saying? So don't just say, look for this or that. It keeps changing. But it's the same thing always. And it has nothing to do with this world. As soon as you escape the cerebral cortex, the idea that you're a body, you'll feel your own soul. And because our biggest problem, and what I'm going to approach right now, is how humble we are. And when you get that, when you really gather that, it's why you don't make a big stand of the purity that you feel, and it's very, very subtle. Because you're here to heal others, and every spiritual being is, not that they're humble, it's because in spiritual consciousness there's no difference between you and another person. So there's no ego, there's no attachment, there's no time or place, there's just this wonder. It's endlessly, and forgive the word, infinitely more kind and open than worldly consciousness. You are a divine presence, an infinitesimal seeming presence. The Orient, they always call it the illusion. Doesn't mean you don't feel pain, it's over, but as soon as you know this, you heal others and you lift them from the pain and you identify with heaven. It's really quite simple to those of us who are spiritual. Being around people who live in time and place and circumstance with egos, you'll have no ego. That's your ordeal, isn't it? As a spiritual person, you'll understand everything and the different egos and personalities around you, and you can rarely make a stand, because if you do, you're hurting this one or that one. You're aware of a certain devil approach behind pulling the strings, or behind this one, or the other one's a puppet behind the other one, and you have to wait till the right moment and heal those you can, when you can, where you can, and you're always in grief for those that you love so dearly. And we're just individuated souls here to express this teaching and lift and heal everyone. Imagine our Father's awareness of this, of every person, every millisecond in the world. And they are a lost soul, as you could say. If they're lost, but if you're spiritual, you're not lost. Original sin meant that as soon as you think of your body, you're sin, but in spirituality, you transcend beyond that. And you realize you're here of your own spiritual volition to heal others and love others and care for others and lift others to respect themselves. We've all been set up from birth. That's the idea of original sin. As soon as you think you're a body and separate, then that's where the guilt, the remorse, the pain, the tragedy, the warfare comes from. If you gather that in your thought quietly, it's all gone. And you'll have the facility within you to heal and love and care for and lift all those that would like that out from the fires of disbelief and faithlessness. You're here to heal the whole world, to overcome the dark force, which is not a big deal when you understand it. For you, because you'll overcome it in your own life quickly once you'll grasp this understanding of why you're here and how wonderful you are. As an infinite soul, you allowed yourself to appear in the electron of hell. It's all the fascination with it. That's what the devil is. You're nothing fascinated in spiritual consciousness. You're just endlessly aware, conscious of, in the most delicate sense of infinity. There's nothing you can't see, evaluate, understand, comprehend, heal. There's no one you cannot heal. Who wants to go there? It can take years for people, moments, but you're living in a quiet place, in a distant land. You have God's eyes and heart and soul. Let go of the whole world, the original sin. You're guilty of nothing. You've been set up every moment of your life. And you allow that to happen. To understand this, imagine what a great soul you are. You comprehend this, you must understand this. There's nothing wrong with you. And yes, it can take some weeks or months or years to let go every millisecond of it. I can't be with those I love most in the whole world physically, but I know I will heal every one of them spiritually, in time, beyond time. I can't be at this place and that place, but I can be there beyond place now, and I am, and you are, and you will, and you can, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's everything right with you. There's no great saint or soul we're aware of who understands this more than you do now. We are one body, one presence. There's one God. And we're in this hellhole in time for a moment in eternity. A lifetime is like a flash of light, a bubble in a stream, right? When you're spiritual, just imagine you're like, you see yourself like there was an old poem about a bird in a church in England 300 years ago. And it goes through one stained glass window that was open, flies through the church to the other stained glass window and flies out. And that, to the spiritual among us, a lifetime is that. We're just, these are not just words. And what's not being said is you're going to have to live through all this tragedy over and over. As soon as you grasp that thought, there's no more tragedy, no more pain, no more remorse, no more guilt, no more fear or anger, no more lies. The devil's been called the father of lies, right, in the Bible and so on. And when you understand that, you're not here anymore. You're not here. You're everywhere. You're a soft with it, divine, ecstatic presence. You are a divine presence. A holy soul. You'll discorrupt the whole world with the charge of the soul. Love your friends. Protect your neighbors. Lift your loved ones. Take it all on, not half, not a little bit. And the understanding will unfold within you, now and forever. You're God's own. It's not about time or place or circumstance, it's about you. The spiritual greatness of you. The timeless of you. The simple genius of you. Isn't it you? The devil's been on you more than anyone else because you're the healer. You're the teacher. You're the divine presence. Yes, we're less than God, but we're not to God. We're God's hands and fingers and eyes and ears and heart and soul in this world to end the tragedy. Aren't we? Aren't you great? You're a divine wonder. You will teach, instruct, heal, correct. Stand firm in your heart in a very quiet way. And look through everything. And you'll know what to do and when to do and how to do it every moment of every day forever. You're God's presence in this world. There's nothing you cannot do. Thank you. Thank you, sir.